Hi guys, in this video I'm going to talk to you about how you can make money on Fiverr without actually doing any work. This is a very common strategy and it does work, but I want to share with you the home truth here so you understand that yes, you can make money on Fiverr by drop servicing and by using arbitrage to buy a service from one place and sell it in the other for a higher price, but there is work involved, okay? Anyone who tells you you can make $10,000 a month by doing no work is bullshitting you, because there is actually a lot of work to do this, okay? So you come to Fiverr and you then try and do some arbitraging. And arbitrage means basically you're buying a service, like for example graphic design, on one platform and selling it on the other. Or you can buy it from Fiverr and sell it on Fiverr for a higher price. Right? What you do is you come in here and you browse through all these different categories and so on, and you find a gig that you can basically replicate. Okay, so you create, for example, if you come here and go to articles and blogging, you can create a gig saying, I'm a writer, I can write you a 500-word blog post for $50. And when somebody orders that from you, you can come in here and order one for $10 and keep the difference. Okay, and you can do that for everything. Okay. And what you can do is you can also go to places like Craigslist, you can go to Gumtree, you can go to Facebook groups and so on, basically anywhere where people are looking for freelancers, for writers, for graphic designers, for coders, for anything you can think of. And that is practical, and you can then put up postings and you can then basically flip or arbitrage that service, right, for a higher price. Now this works, of course it does, but I want to sprinkle some reality here on this for you so you understand that making money on Fiverr by using arbitrage or by basically drop servicing is not as easy as you think. Right? If you search for this on YouTube, you're going to find a whole host of people here saying, "Oh my God, yeah, make $24,000 in one single month, or do this and do that and make $100 per day," and so on. Most of these guys do not actually do this. Okay, they're bullshitting you because they're making money by other means. Okay, what they're saying is technically true. Okay, yes, you can go on Fiverr and simply do arbitrage, but guys, listen up. Here's the truth, right? So keep watching. When you come here, and let's say for argument's sake, I'm a graphic designer, and I come in here and I'm going to create a gig for creating flyer design, for example. And you create a gig saying, I can create a flyer for $10 or for $100 or whatever, and you then get your first order. If you are not a graphic designer and you get an order from a customer, how do you know how to dissect their instructions of what they want and then give it to somebody else? How do you know that when you order your Fiverr gig to get that job completed, how do you know that they're going to give you a good job, right? How do you know who a good designer is? So if you come in here and you look for someone who's going to do the work for you, how do you know if these guys are any good? You order the gig and you get something back, right? Imagine if it's really bad. What do? Do you send it back, or do you send it to a customer hoping that they like it? If they complain saying this is not good enough, what do? How do you communicate that with your outsourcer, right? And so on. Equally, let's say for argument's sake that you do some blogging, okay, some blog content writing. You create a gig saying, "Hi, I'm a writer. I'm going to write a blog post for you for $49.99. You get your first order, and you come here and you pay this guy here, for example, to write a blog post for $21, and you make a $30 profit, whatever. When this person delivers you that article, how do you know if it's good or not? If you're not a writer, how do you know if it's good, right? And you send that to your outsourcer, he sends it back, and you can go, "Oh my God, this is terrible." What do? Right? So do you see how this takes time, right? I'll give you an example here. So recently I ordered this gig here. I will create 100 social media posts and quality images. Okay, so the bronze version here is this person will do 15 media posts within 24 hours. So I needed some basically some simple graphics for something I was doing. Okay, I ordered them. Cool, $5, bargain, right? Absolute bargain. It took me almost a week and a half to get that order filled because this person here, whoever it is, this Sabanaz, okay. Whoever this person is, she kept putting in spelling mistakes, very basic spelling mistakes. So I was looking for some graphics that says fresh training or latest trading module. But she kept misspelling the words, even though I copied and pasted it in and told her how to spell it. And then it was back and forth, and it was really bad. Okay, so that means that had I been doing this, now I know what I'm doing, so it's simpler. Okay, but complication still happens, right? So imagine if you're doing music, like any kind of editing, video editing. If you're doing whatever you're doing here, you need to have a basic grasp of what makes a good, whatever the task is, before you can do this. So, for example, the blogging thing is the best example, where if you go on here and try and do this as a blogger, if you are not a writer, if you have no idea about grammar, if you have no idea about SEO, then you shouldn't do this, because you're gonna spend a lot of time emailing back and forth with these people, and this whole idea of, like always guys here say, you can do this without doing any work. That's bullshit. This takes a lot of work, because you still have to sit here and message people back and forth. And when you actually consider your hourly rate of sitting here, researching, setting up gigs, emailing customers back and forth, it still becomes a full-time job, right? And don't forget, guys, Fiverr takes a cut. It's okay. So I think Fiverr takes, like I said, 20%. I think it is. Fiverr takes 20% of your earnings. Right? So if you take $100, that's $20 goes to Fiverr, not to you, right? It goes to Fiverr. And you have to pay the writer or whoever it is to do the gig in the first place. So at the end of you emailing back and forth 4 or 5 times, assuming the order doesn't go badly, okay, it can take a lot of time. So this is something to be aware of, right? Now, can you do this on Fiverr? Of course you can, absolutely. There are plenty of places like Facebook groups, local buy and swap groups, so you can post up if they allow it, saying that, hi guys, I'm a graphic designer, I'm looking for work, and you can charge them $50 and come in here and get it done for $10, right? So there is absolutely that. But guess what? To do that, you have to go on Facebook and post. Yeah, right. You have to go and find groups. You have to research. You have to find. You have to actually do the work and find something to do. All right. And so it's that principle of, yes, there are many tools out there, like Scribble or whatever. You can make ebook covers and all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of tools out there that can help you, and so on. But at the end of the day, if you're coming here and you want to do a tattoo design, for example, and you want to you have no idea what a tattoo design even is or does, and you want to try and outsource that, it's going to lead down a rabbit hole of back and forth, and it's going to become a pain in the ass for you. So if you're going to do this, do something that you're already knowledgeable about. Do something you actually understand, so that you can spot any potential dangers, any potential mistakes, and so on. Because don't forget, guys, whenever you're doing this, whatever it is here, the reason why you're able to outsource is for cheap. Right? The reason why this person here can do 15 images for $5 is because they live in Indonesia, in India, in Thailand, in wherever, right? Where $5 is a lot of money. But alongside that comes a lot of problems, because there's a huge communication barrier. So there's a lot of misunderstandings in the English language. Also, there's a cultural difference, right? So if you come here to this tattoo design, if you send something like this to someone in Asia, their influence, their color choices, their everything is going to be very different from what you might expect. All right? So there's a lot of back and forth here, where you're going to spend a lot of time researching and gaining experience and understanding how to communicate and so on. So that is something you need to consider. Right? Now, this here is a very viable option. This is a very viable business venture. Right? Arbitrage has been around since forever, literally long before the internet. And this is a very viable way to do it, but you need to be smart about it. Also, don't forget, guys, the competition here is fierce. Right? So if you come in here again to, for example, the writing here, an article, I'll use articles as an example again. If you come here and actually look at how many people are actually doing this, there are 30,000 services, gigs here available. Okay, 30,000. So you can imagine here that this is, it is saturated. Right, but a huge benefit for you is the fact that when you're doing this, there's no startup capital for you. There's no investment needed really, and apart from your time, there's nothing really much needed. But you understand that if you put up a gig today, you're not going to get flooded by 50 orders in one day. right? Unless you happen to hit something that's very, very low competition, right? So the point here I'm trying to make is, be sensible, use your common sense, move forward, and definitely go for this. It is very possible to make money online on Fiverr with a very, very little starter cost. But when you're Googling this and you see these guys saying, oh yeah, wow, yeah, make $150 a day and so on. Yeah, take that with a pinch of salt, guys, right? It's not that easy. And I can guarantee you, the vast majority of these guys, including me, right, I do not make money on Fiverr, right? Because I'm doing this, I'm doing YouTube, I'm doing other stuff. And the vast majority of these guys here do not make money on Fiverr either, right? They're just telling you these sort of methods, but their angle is they want to make it sound easy when it's actually not that easy, right? It takes time, patience, just like any other business. You have to learn, grow, move forward, and develop yourself as a marketer. Okay, but if you need some help building your business, okay, because obviously having a website, having a YouTube channel, having being aware of SEO, being aware of social media, being aware of all this stuff will help. Okay, so click link in the description. I've got a 12-step action plan for you that you can use to grow your business online, right? So my name is Philip. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next review. Cheers.